Hey HCA, Executive Vice President Cody Burkham here with you on Friday, March 26th. Going to give you our 9th installment of our Hats on the Hill series here. And it's been a good week here at the ACA. We've wrapped up our March meetings with our final two in Hot Springs and Conway. Both really great meetings, so we were really excited to get those done, and appreciate everybody that came out this year and supported the ACA and had you a stake and listened to the educational information that was presented, and just all the different things that were happening there. So just some really great meetings this month, and we really appreciate your support. But anyway, this was kind of a short week on the Hill. They were actually only in session on Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week they have been off on spring break. So they'll fire back up next Monday, or this coming Monday, to carry on throughout the March, throughout the couple of days here left in March and through the rest of April. And they are now scheduled to, I think, like I said last week, dismiss or recess around April the 30th is going to be their last day. And then they will probably come back around June whenever they have the census data all gathered together. When they get all the census data, they have to look at obviously different redistricting for all the state houses and all the state senate districts, as well as our congressional delegation as well. Of course, a commission takes care of that, not the state legislature. But anyway, like I said, it's a short week this week. Really, the main thing that really happened this week was our meat state inspection bill that, if you'll remember, that passed last week. Was actually signed by the governor this week. So HB 1315 is now Act 418, and it was signed by the governor Tuesday, March 23rd, which was National Ag Day. And you know, we didn't plan it that way. Maybe the governor's office did, and but either way, we're super excited to see the governor sign that on National Ag Day. And you know, we have talked about that state meat inspection and what it means for not only the producers of Arkansas, but the consumers of Arkansas as well. Now I have seen a number of questions on social media. You know, when can we expect this program to be up and running? And you know, how long will stuff like that take? And I do want to say, this is going to take a little while for the Department of Ag to promulgate the rules and regulations that the state meat inspection is going to have to go by. Of course, they're going to partner with the United States Department of Agriculture to make sure that the state meat inspection process is at least equal to the USDA inspection process. That way they can receive some funding and stuff from the USDA on that. So, you know, we're looking, I think, at probably the best situation, probably around 18 months for them to get all the rules and regulations promulgated, and for USDA to approve that inspection program. So I know 18 months sounds like a lot, and it is, but we want to make sure that this is done right, and the department is committed to doing this right and making sure that it's best for producers, processors, and consumers. So, like I've said before, we're going to be right there with them, giving them our thoughts on the process and inspection program, and we'll be following that very closely for the next 18 to 24 months to make sure that that is done in a timely manner, but also in a manner that protects everybody that's going to be involved in that. So, great week here on that end. One bill I will talk about that we talked about a couple weeks ago, HB 1636, was the feral hog bill that we mentioned a little bit about how they're changing some of the statutes and dealing with feral hogs and transportations. That actually went through the Senate Ag Committee on this week. I believe it was Tuesday that went to the Senate Ag Committee. So that was really kind of the only other bill of interest this week that we really had any interest in. There was nothing that went through the House side that really we followed that closely. But you know, if you've been keeping up with some of the federal deals, policy positions and stuff that have been going on, of course you'll remember back last year we had our CFAP 1 and 2 programs. And at the end of last year, there was some more money that was directed towards those CFAP programs, but then we had a new administration come in, and the Biden administration, like many administrations before them, kind of shut that money down just to review it and make sure that it was being sent and spent wisely, I guess was their reasoning. But we got word earlier this week that the money that was destined for CFAP, the CFAP program, has been released, and FSA will start dealing with those new programs this next month. Of course, the CFAP is kind of being renamed the USDA Pandemic Assistance for Producers Initiative. So it's actually a continuation of the CFAP program. They've just renamed it. And what they've come out with, that if you were a producer that applied for and were eligible for CFAP 1 program payments, you're gonna get another round of CFAP 1 payments. So you'll remember that you took your highest inventory level from April 16th through May 14th of 2020, and they paid you a certain amount depending on what you filed on. So feeder calves like under 600 pounds were $7, and there was a whole table there, and I'd have to go back and look at those. But you're going to be eligible for another round on those same head of cattle that if you got under CFAP 1, you'll be eligible for those numbers again. But I do want to point out that if you did not sign up for CFAP 1, you will not be eligible for this round of payments for CFAP 1 program. So only those that sent the initial application in and were paid will get that second round of CFAP 1. Now CFAP 2, what they're going to do for those producers, originally the sign-up period was last year between September 21st and December 11th, if you'll remember. And what they're doing on the CFAP 2 is they're extending, or they're reopening where you can send an application. So if you're a producer that somehow missed the CFAP 2 application deadline, they're going to reopen that, and you will be able to sign up for the CFAP 2. And that's going to begin, I believe, April 5th is what FSA is saying when that will begin. So just as a reminder, you're going to take the highest inventory level that you had between April 16th, 2020 and August 31st, 2020, and you're going to get a flat $55 per head assistance on those cattle. Now, I do want to point out that excludes breeding stock. So you will not be able to count your cows or your bulls. This is something that was just for feeder calves and things like that. So you're not going to be able to include your breeding stock on that. So it's kind of disappointing. I know we had some disappointment with that program back when it came out, but it is what it is at this point. And so maybe those two things will get a little more assistance into the hand of producers. And so, that bears reminding. We've made a big deal of it because it is a big deal, that if you've received CFAP 1, 2, or 2 payments last year, and if you receive them this year, that is state income tax free under Arkansas State Code that the ACA got passed back in 2015, and Governor Asa Hutchinson made sure was told DFNA to make sure that was state income tax free under the statute. You do not have to pay state income tax on that. So I think that's really important to keep reminding people, especially as we're here during our tax season. If you have a tax preparer that is doing your taxes for you, make sure you mention that the CFAP 1 and 2 payments and this next round, which this next round will go on taxes next year. So, but make sure you remind them that this is state income tax free. And if they have any questions about that, we have had some that have had questions about that, please feel free to call the office here. We'll send you or your tax preparer, either one, the state statute where that is said in state law that this will be state income tax free. We'll send them a copy of the governor's letter, and hopefully that'll satisfy them, because we want to make sure that the hard work that the ACA has done for our producers is taken advantage of for the producers out there. This was for you, and it still is for you, and we want to make sure that you get all the benefit from that. So with that, we're going to wrap up this week's installment, and we'll be back again next week to let you know what's going on at the state capitol. Have some other things that we're going to be working on this next week and through the remainder of the session. So invite you to come on back next week and hear what's going on at the state capitol. Y'all have a great week. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.